the studio is Julian Fellowes. Now, we're excited about this landmark building. Were you?
I thought it was absolutely incredible. I think it's a marvellous building, and the whole scale of the ship is suddenly made clear by that decision to kind of replicate the prow. But I just thought the whole thing was so ripe for now to kind of celebrate the Titanic as well as mourning. You know, it's been simply a tragedy, but what got lost was the fact that it was a magnificent ship. And, you know, it represents the peak of shipbuilding in Belfast, you know, where they were the best shipbuilders in the world. And it seems now that there is a little bit more distance. One can, you know, take pride in that as well as everything else.
You must be the busiest man in television at the moment, yet you find time to come here to do work for Cinemagic. How important is the relationship that you have with that organisation?
Well, I'm pleased with my relationship with Cinemagic, actually. I got into it because of Joan Burney Keating's, you know, the incredible figure, charisma who gets everyone involved. But I love the idea of just opening up people's minds. Yes, it's about introducing young people to film from all sorts of different backgrounds and all sorts of different religions, different, you know, and they all come in. But it's not really about that. It's about opening up their minds. It's about getting them to see that their future could maybe be bigger and broader than they had previously imagined. And that seems to me to be a really good thing to do.
Let's talk about Titanic now. How did you feel about the reviews after the first episode?
I thought they were very kind to us, actually. I wondered if it was all going to be Downton at sea, you know, and all that. There was a bit of that, of course, but, you know, it wouldn't hurt if we get Downton's audiences. But they embraced the structure, which I was pleased by, because sometimes they get so stuck in that kind of 1970s linear structure, they can't really see anything else.
So how much of a challenge was that for you as a writer?
Well, it was very interesting, but it was also what hooked me. I mean, when they brought it to me, Nigel Stafford Clark and Simon Vaughan brought me the idea with the concept that the ship sinks in every episode. So we have lots of opportunity to explore people's emotional reaction.
And yet it's a story that we know so well, and that must have created another difficulty for you.
Well, yes, but that's like saying, you know, do we need another war film? I mean, it's a predicament that we know so well, but you can always tell a different story.
And was it a struggle to write the characters?
Well, I struggled so a bit hard. I enjoyed it, actually, because I was already very interested in Titanic anyway. But the challenge was to blend the real people with the fictional people, and to give the real people real stories. You know, they aren't just sort of in the background and you say, hello, Mrs. Brown. There are characters who go right through it, who are real. And there you have a sort of responsibility to be true to them, really.
You brought the line up yourself, Downton on Sea. It's not that, or is it?
No, I don't think it is, because I think it's much more complicated. I mean, Downton is kind of about class and about the employers and their employed.
But aren't we seeing that in Titanic?
Not really, no. Downton is essentially a factory show, where they work in a factory or they own the factory. Whereas Titanic is about a world. It's every level of that world. Yes, there are posh people, but there are also middle-class businessmen, there are also immigrants, there are boilermen, there are crew, there are stewards and stewardesses, there are the officers. You know, it's not just a simple little class divide, it's a whole world on one ship. And I think one of the reasons it is so iconic is that it sort of is that world in miniature, really.
Now, let's talk about Downton. Series 3 is being filmed at the moment.
Series 3 is being filmed at the moment and still being written at the moment, which of course are rather sort of put you on edge. But actually, I think I have, you know, nearly done the series, and I just have the Christmas special left to do, because we're going to have another one.
Right. Now, you were an actor before you turned to writing. Has that helped you?
I think being an actor helps you write dialogue, because I think as an actor, you develop an instinct for what's sayable and what isn't sayable. Actually, it doesn't really matter if you're a very good actor. You still have that instinct for dialogue that is not sayable. And I sort of like to think that most of what I write is sayable. Of course, I am very much an actor's writer, just as when I direct films, I'm an actor's director. For me, the important thing is the performances. And you know, I always sort of go with that.
So does that make you a writer or a storyteller?
I know, it's rather a good question, that. I mean, I do like stories, but I like character narrative. I like stories that are told through getting to know the people. So you know, I'm not a big special effects guy. Well, actually, I think the special effects on this are rather good. But, you know, I wouldn't go and see a film about aliens attacking us, or particularly, I mean, I might, but, you know, because I like stories about people.
So for that reason, you would watch Downton as much as Titanic?
Well, it seems a bit vain.
Like the rest of it. Well, the proof is in the pudding. Julian Fellowes, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.